On Global TV News Express, Abuja-Kaduna train derails, triggers panic among passengers. In business, manufacturers seek suspension of custom 4% free on-board charge implementation. On the foreign scene, Germany refuses recognition of Palestinian state amidst rising international support. And in sports Commission South Africa envoys strategize on Eagles match logistics. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Express on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Priscilla Obasi. A quick reminder, the Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times 276. Now the news in detail. A passenger train traveling from Abuja to Kaduna derailed, leaving several carriages overturned and triggering panic among those on board. According to Arise News, the incident occurred along the popular corridor shortly after the train departed Abuja around 11 a.m. en route to Kaduna. The scene was reportedly chaotic, with people scrambling for safety in fear and confusion. There has, however, not been an official statement on what caused the derailment. Moving on, the Nigerian Army says it is extending its role beyond the battlefield by supporting agriculture in Benue State, Nigeria's food basket. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, has launched a fertilizer distribution program aimed at boosting food production and strengthening community security. Benue State correspondent Felicity Ndere reports.
At a gathering of community leaders, farmers and stakeholders, the Army rolled out its fertilizer distribution program across Benue farming communities. The initiative, championed by the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Oluyede, is being described as a game changer for the state known as Nigeria's food basket.
You're supposed to be holding this one by your side, even if you get exhausted of your bullet. You can use the spear.
Represented by the garrison commander, Lieutenant Colonel Abdullahi Bako, the Army Chief said the gesture highlights the military's commitment to national development and citizens' welfare beyond its traditional security mandate.
Farmers need the tools and input necessary to make the land fruitful. The people of Benue State, the backbone of our nation's food production, will reap immense benefit from this intervention, and as productivity increases here, the ripple effect will be felt across Nigeria, enhancing food availability and affordability nationwide.
For many in Benue, the intervention could not have come at a better time.
It is something that nobody has ever done this, but today we appreciate their gesture for bringing the fertilizer. They have brought it on time. Because this is the time the farmers.
The Chief of Army Staff himself, Oluyede, sent his representative here to give up fertilizer to boost our agricultural farming. We are very happy about it. Then this thing has been flagged off. It has boosted our morale to go into more farming activities.
We have been affected so much that mostly youths in our community, in our society today, depend on agriculture products to sell before they get money. In most cases, in almost every village in our communities.
The initiative themed enhancing food security through community protection, defending the harvest, securing the future, reflects the Army's broader vision of distribution to national development, while sending a clear message that its mission goes beyond the battlefield and into everyday lives of citizens. From Konshisha, Felicity Ndere, reporting for Global TV News.
The People's Democratic Party, PDP, has confirmed Ambassador Iliya Umar Damagun as its substantial national chairman after serving in the acting capacity. The resolution formed part of the key decisions reached at the 102nd meeting of the party's National Executive Committee in Abuja. Anetre Patrick brings us more.
Reading the communique after the meeting, PDP National Publicity Secretary Debo Ologunagba explained that NEC adopted the recommendation of the National Convention Zoning Committee. According to him, all national offices currently held in the north and south will remain in their existing zones. except for the office of the national chairman, which remains in the north. Ologun Agba added that the party has zoned its 2027 presidential ticket to the southern region, stressing that the PDP is committed to a seamless and inclusive process as it prepares for its elective national convention, scheduled to hold in Ibadan, Oyo State, from Saturday, November 15th to Sunday, November 16th, 2025.
In recognition of the effort of the National Working Committee under the leadership of Acting National Chairman, Ambassador Ilya Umar Damagu, in stabilizing the party, NEC hereby ratifies and confirms the appointment of Ambassador Ilya Umar Damagu as the substantive national chairman of the party with effect from today, 25th August 2025.
The NEC also reviewed updates from the PDP Constitutional Amendments Committee and directed that the proposed amendment be circulated to all party organs and chapters nationwide for further input. Furthermore, the NEC commended the PDP Governors Forum, the Board of Trustees, the National Assembly Caucus, and other party structures for their unity and commitment towards ensuring a successful convention. Meanwhile, the NEC condemned the ruling All Progressives Congress APC, accusing it of state-backed intimidation, manipulation, and violence during recent by-elections. The PDP warned that such actions by the APC threaten democracy and national stability, accusing the ruling party of pursuing Nigeria towards a one-party state.
NEC received and after extensive deliberation approved the report of the National Convention Zoning Committee, which recommended as follows. A. That all PDP national office positions currently in the northern region of the country remain in the northern region. B. That all PDP national office positions currently in the southern region of the country remain in the southern region. C. That the position of the national chairman having been retained in the northern region of the country, the presidential candidate of the party for the 2027 general election is hereby zoned to the southern region.
He, however, reaffirmed the commitment of the party to democratic values and the protection of citizens' rights, while vowing to mobilize Nigerians and work towards reclaiming power in the 2027 general elections. Annie T. Patrick, reporting for Global TV.
The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has called on Osun residents to collect their permanent voters card to use the opportunity of the ongoing continuous voters registration to collect them. INEC spokesperson in Osun State, Musa Olurode, made the call in a statement in which he said over 306 permanent voters cards were lying at the Commission's office. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has busted a syndicate linked to the arrest of 3 innocent Nigerian pilgrims in Saudi Arabia. At a press conference in Abuja, agency's Director of Media and Advocacy, Femi Babafemi, says the suspects conspired with airport staff to secretly tag 6 drug-laden bags in the name of 3 Nigerians who had traveled for the Lesser Hajj. Crime correspondent Kikelomo Ukere reports.
According to the NDLEA Director of Media and Advocacy, Femi Babafemi, the suspects were apprehended at Malam Aminu Kano International Airport, where the group allegedly planted drugs in the luggage of unsuspecting travelers. He says the victim Miriam Hussein Abdullahi, Bahija Aminu Abdullahi, and Abdul Hamid Sadiq were arrested and detained by Saudi authorities following the discovery of the bags.
To unravel the true facts of the cases, the Chairman Chief Executive Officer of the agency caused an investigation to be conducted into the cases, and the following facts were revealed. The bags containing illicit drug substances intercepted in Saudi Arabia were checked in against the complainants' names by members of a criminal syndicate operating in Malam Aminu Kano International Airport without the knowledge of the 3 complainants. All the bags were traced to one Ali Abubakar Mohammed, alias Bello Karama.
Babafemi explained that investigation traced the crime to a 55-year-old drug baron, Muhammad Ali Abubakar, also known as Bello Karama. Several suspects have confessed, with 4 already charged to court. He added that NDLEA Chairman Brigadier General Buba Marwa, retired, is in contact with Saudi authorities to secure the release of the detained Nigerians. The agency maintained that while it continued to intensify the fight against drug trafficking, it will never allow innocent citizens to be punished for crimes they did not commit.
Above reasons, the 3 complainants were arrested and detained for crimes they had no knowledge of. In the light of the foregoing and the evidence gathered by the agency in the course of our investigation, it is clear that Miriam Abdullahi and 2 others who are being detained in Saudi are victims of circumstance implicated by the activities of a criminal syndicate operating at the Malam Aminu Kano International Airport, Makia, Kano. 6 suspected members of this criminal syndicate are already in our custody, with 4 already charged to court awaiting arraignment, while the other 2 would have their charges filed shortly.
It says the Ministry of Aviation and other security agencies are working with NDLEA to block such syndicates from exploiting Nigerian airports again. Kike Lomo Udkeri, Global Television News.
As the world shifts into a digital economy, content creators is becoming a new capital, social capital, which many young people are tapping into its opportunities. Some still claim they do not fully understand its potentials. Ubongo Soro completes this report.
Content creation is fast emerging as the new normal in today's communication and job spaces. From YouTube to TikTok, podcasts and blogs, youth are building careers and influencing industries. Experts say content is now more than entertainment. It has become a tool for empowerment and economic participation.
Because youth are seeing content creation as something that is new business.
Content is helping youth create jobs for themselves, even in spaces where traditional employment is shrinking. It is no longer just about likes and views. Content is the new social capital.
About a large percentage of individuals now are on their devices, their gadgets, right? So we need to accept the fact that content creation is here and here to stay.
I don't think it is so.
With content shaping marketing, advertising, education, and entertainment, stakeholders agree it is gradually redefining the job market. They emphasize that adaptability, creativity, and digital skills are now vital for survival in the modern economy. Ubong Soro for Global Television.
A coalition of retired senior police officers has announced plans to stage what it's called the father of all peaceful protests on September 29 in Abuja. The retired police officers are demanding for their exit from the Contributory Pension Scheme, CPS. The group, under the aegis of the Association of Retired Police Officers under the scheme, said it resorted to protest after years of failed engagement with government agencies, including the National Assembly, the Inspector General of Police, IGP, and the National Pension Commission, PENCOM. The Federal Capital Territory Administration has defended its clampdown on vehicles with tinted glass permits, insisting that many of the permits in circulation are fake and linked to criminal activity. The Administration Director of Security Services, Adamu Grari, who was represented by the Director of Command and Control Units, Dr. Peter Olumuji, during a citywide sanitation operation, said the action was necessary despite the Inspector General of Police's directive, pegging October 2025 as the enforcement date. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Betokun, had on August 11, 2025, extended the grace period for enforcing the ban on tinted glass permits, directing that the enforcement will take effect from October 2025, giving motorists time to regularize their papers. And moving on, the Joint Admission Matriculation Board has directed candidates who upload their preliminary level results before the release of the final 2025 West Africa Senior School Certificate examination results to revisit accredited centers and re-upload their results. The Joint Admission and Matriculation Board announced this in its weekly bulletin released in Abuja by its public communication advisor, Dr. Fabian Benjamin. The examination board explained that all previously uploaded results have been cleared from its system to prevent discrepancies and ensure that only the official West African Senior Examination Certificate examination final results are used for admission processing. You're watching the live broadcast of News Express. When News Express returns, Team Nigeria's lifters chase tickets to India. Details coming shortly, plus business and foreign stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. Welcome back. This is News Express on Global Television, and right now we are in the business news segment. Online loans have become a quick and convenient fix for millions of people facing financial distress. But how safe are they? As digital lending platforms expand, so do the risk. Our correspondent, Sadia Yakubu, takes a closer look at the promises, the pitfalls, and the real cost of borrowing with just a few clicks.
It's the new phase of borrowing instant cash, no collateral, no paperwork and approval in minutes. For people with poor credit, limited bank access or urgent needs, online loans are marketed as a lifeline. Most fall under payday or short-term installment loan. The speed is attractive, but the reality often comes with sky-high interest rates, hidden fees and tight payment deadlines that can trap borrowers in a cycle of debt.
It's good on our side because it's easy to access, you get, so when you can operate, so it's easy to access and easy to pay back.
The rise of unregulated or loosely regulated lenders, especially in developing countries, is raising alarm. Watchdog agencies say complaints about data abuse and harassment are steadily climbing.
Getting a online loan, that loan, even if you don't want to get it, there's this temptation that they will send to you, and you will even be tempted to even get it. So once you enter their trap and you get the loan from them, in fact, you get from the first time you get it, you've already entered into their trap.
Most times the side effects are the interest the bank or the organization puts on the masses or the citizens. Most times they put an interest that people cannot afford and cannot even make up.
Beyond that, some loan apps demand access to personal data, including contacts, messages and photos, creating a major invasion of privacy. Consumer groups say this data is sometimes misused to shame borrowers into repayment.
Online loans may be a quick solution, but for many, they can become a long-term burden. If you are considering one, research carefully and protect your personal information. I am Sadia Yakubu, reporting for Global Television.
The Manufacturers Association of Nigeria has called on the federal government to halt the implementation of the 4% free on board charge on imports by the Nigerian Customs Service. The association expressed strong objection to what it termed as subtle reintroduction of the 4% free on board charge in contravention of the earlier widely publicized suspension of the charge. The Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Bayo Ojulari, has disclosed that Nigeria's crude oil pipeline and terminal receipts are close to 100% due to improved security intervention. Speaking at the 2025 African Chief of Defense Staff Summit on Monday, Ojulari said terminal receipts of crude oil that were as low as 30% as a result of crude thefts were now attaining close to 100%. Ojulari also said the company is beginning to win the war against crude theft prevalent in oil-producing regions. Now we go to the foreign scene, where Canada's Prime Minister Mark Carney has expressed support for Ukraine's call for security guarantees as part of any peace deal with Russia, including the possibility of deploying troops to Eastern European country. During a visit to Kyiv, where he met with Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky, Carney said a group of Ukraine's Western allies, known as Coalition of the Willing, is working with the United States to bolster Ukrainian defense. Here is Uyi Abumefwebe's report.
Standing alongside President Zelensky, Mark Carney reassured the people of Ukraine of Canada's support in its war with Russia, making clear that Russia's invasion of Ukraine is an attempt at rewriting history and peace will come through strength.
Canada is under no illusions about the importance of your struggle, and you should have no doubts about the commitment of Canadians to your cause, because your cause, freedom, democracy, sovereignty, is our cause, and your history informs our history. We see this war clearly as a horrific act of aggression, a maniacal quest to recreate a history that itself was filled with injustice. And we know that peace will only come through strength.
Prime Minister Carney stated that the alliance of countries working against what he called Putin's aggression in Ukraine is becoming more effective and united.
But Putin can be stopped. Russia's economy is weakening. He is becoming more isolated. And our alliance is hardening. It's growing more effective, more determined, more united. I applaud the leadership of the transformative U.S. President Donald Trump in creating the possibilities for peace.
With the war already having claimed tens of thousands of lives, hopes for a ceasefire on the ground, however, remain dim as Kyiv and Moscow continue to exchange fire. Uyi Agmofwebe, reporting for Global TV News.
Now we go to sports, where former international Victor Ibeba has backed the Super Eagles to get their 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifications campaign back on track with victories over Rwanda and South Africa. Eric Shell's side has recorded just one win from 6 games in the qualifying series. The West Africa occupied 4th position in their group with 7 points from 6 games. As Global Television News Express comes to an end, here's a recap of our top stories. We told you the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has confirmed Ambassador Ilya Umar Damagun as its substantive national chairman after serving in acting capacity. In business, we told you the Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPCL, Bayo Ojulari, has disclosed that Nigeria's crude oil pipeline and terminal receipts are close to 100% due to improved security interventions. On the foreign scene, we told you Germany will not join partners such as Canada and France in recognizing the Palestinian state, Chancellor Friedrich Merz said on Tuesday following a meeting with Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney in Berlin. And that is it on Global TV News Express. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using the handle at Global TVNG. I am Priscilla Obasi. Thank you very much for watching. Good evening.